All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for your patience. I apologize for coming on the air just a little bit late. It's a good 6-7 minutes late. Just so you all know, we were doing an interview with Congressman Sylvester Turner, someone that we've known for a long time, and there's going to be a special feature about the congressman. We did talk about WEP and GPO a little bit, but mostly this was a discussion about him and his leadership in Texas and celebrating Black History Month. So I'm excited to get that compiled so that our members can read it. So again, thank you for your patience. I really want to say thank you again to all of you for the kind emails and the well wishes. As some of you found out in replying to those emails, I have had the absolute worst case of the flu that I have probably ever had in my life. And it has taken me the better part of a week to get better. And so in truth, I had the flu and strep throat at the same time. And I have been on a number of medicines and a lot of other things. And so I'll do my best to get through this. It may be a little bit shorter than normal. I promise that sometimes, and sometimes we go long. But my voice is not as strong, or it's just not back yet. So we'll get through this as much as we can and kind of see what everybody is thinking about. So I'm going to take a quick look at the chat. Hello to all of you that are joining in today. We are officially live now, and we just want to say, please feel free to share your questions and comments in the chat. Roy Varney is here with me as the producer. And he is going to let me know if there's some interesting ones that are coming in. Also, if you'd like to type something and you think that other people would deserve to see it, we are going to, from time to time, highlight your comments throughout the presentation. So that way you will know that we are taking a look at what is going on with you folks. So, all right, we had another busy week of activities, both on the federal and on the state side. We're prepared to talk about a lot of our state initiatives. I know that a lot of people kind of want to get tuned in and hear more about what has been happening with the WEP and the GPO. And I think there is some confusion still that's out there about how people are getting their benefits recalculated versus people who are applying for the first time. So the first thing that I'd like to point out is that there has been, as of within the last few days, an update on the Social Security Q&A page with some new information for people that have already had their benefits reduced or eliminated by the WEP and the GPO. And on that page, which is on our website, you'll be able to find out what that new information is. But they have some new posts about what should people do now that the Social Security Fairness Act is law. And they talk about if you've never applied for your spouse's surviving benefits, you may need to file an application. They talk about ways to do that. It also says, is new information that it says, we will take an application by telephone for people who did not previously apply for retirement benefits because of WEP or a spouse's surviving benefit because of GPO. So really what is, we sort of are having and experiencing two different versions of a reality for post Social Security WEP and GPO world. So we have one group folks that are the people that have retired, and they've been retired, and they have already applied for their Social Security benefits, and they have either had their benefits reduced on their own personal work history, or they have applied for their spousal benefit, and they have seen that spousal benefit reduced or completely eliminated. So these are the folks that are already have made application and have had a benefit from the Social Security Administration that has either been reduced or eliminated. And it could either be reduced under WEP, or it could be reduced or eliminated as a spousal benefit. To the best of my knowledge, as of today, that group is 3 million people. And those are the folks that have to have benefits that are recalculated. Based on the Social Security Administration's estimates, we are talking about 250,000 Texans that fall into that group. It could be more than that, that are falling into that group. And those are the folks that are saying, when will my benefits be recalculated? What's confusing is that there's another group. And so we have this group over here that's already been reduced, but then we have a group of folks that are retired and have never applied for their Social Security benefit before. And those folks are going to the application process, whether online or in person, calling the Social Security Administration. And the folks that are now retired become age eligible for Social Security and are getting their benefits for the very first time. When the Social Security Administration calculates their new benefit, there is no WEP or GPO to apply to either their individual benefit or their spousal benefit. And those folks will go online sometimes with, I understand why they're very happy to report back that I receive my Social Security benefits today and there's no WEP. And so there have been reports that have crossed my desk about people saying, hey, I have been WEP'd and I'm excited to report that my benefit, even though I was WEP before, has now increased. And I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. Social Security Administration has not told us that they are starting to roll out new benefits. As a matter of fact, it has been my general understanding that this big group of 3 million people across the country that are waiting for their benefits to be recalculated are still on hold. And that is the group where we as an organization are drawing in our additional friends, partners, congressional colleagues, and asking Congress to take action to get the money out as fast as you can. So that issue is still the probably the most pressing matter when it comes to our work on the congressional level. And today I did reach out again to Social Security Administration and to friends and colleagues of mine in Congress that I believe can help us try to get some answers as to when will our retirees start getting their benefits repaid. There is no question that the Social Security Administration knows they have a lot of work to do, and there's no question that waiting 12 to 18 months is unacceptable. That simply is the TRTA's position. There is no reason, no justifiable reason that our United States government, in all of its power and with all of its ability, cannot allocate whatever resources are necessary to recalculate the benefits that have been previously stolen from our retirees and should now be recalculated in a way that benefits them immediately. That is our position, is what we're going to continue to advocate for. That is the phone calls that we make on a daily basis. It's the reason that we work with our Texas congressional delegation. We are pulling in resources and friends from other states to help us on this. It's not just Texas that's in this situation. It's all of California, all of Texas, all of Illinois, all of Missouri, all of Colorado, all of a number of states that are in that position. So we will not rest until we know that Congress is taking this more seriously. TRTA will call on Congress to host any hearings that would be necessary. We believe that the Ways and Means Committee or the Senate Finance Committee, committees of jurisdiction in Congress, should call in administrators for the Social Security Administration and demand answers. If the answer is that they need an emergency appropriation to pay their current staff to work overtime in order to get the benefits paid out as quickly as possible, then that's what they should receive. So we are pushing on this aggressively. I want to reiterate that if you have not applied for your benefit, now is the time to do so. Those folks that said, hey, I knew that I was probably going to get reduced and I just never applied for it. Even if you were eligible to receive that benefit several years ago, you want to talk to the Social Security Administration so that you will get any back pay that'll be owed. That back pay will go from January 1st of 2024 until a date to be determined. I can't get too excited, everybody. Sorry. The date to be determined as to when the Social Security is actually going to get repaid. So I agree. Put Leslie, Robinson's comment, Roy, on the screen. We can't wait. My money, I can't buy eggs. I feel the same way. Eggs are $8 a carton, or whatever. It's just ridiculous. So, Roy, if you see other folks that are making comments about that, please, feel free to share. But these are real needs that people have, and it probably will take all of us working more to get Congress to take action. And so I did get an email last night from a member, and I can't find it right now, but the email basically said, hey, look, I've been retired and I was WEP'd 10 years ago. And now I'm waiting for my benefit to be recalculated. But I hear that someone who just retired is able to get their full Social Security benefit on the day they go and apply for it. And I am here to tell you that is absolutely true. That is what is happening. The reason that it is happening that way is the only way that I can describe it is that when the Social Security Administration calculates a person's benefit, when they are coming to them and saying, I'm filing for the first time, what would have normally happened in that situation is that person would have been WEP'd, or they would have had the GPO hit their spousal benefit. It was the first time they applied for it. But because those provisions do not exist anymore, and because the Social Security Administration every day is processing new recipient benefits, the rules aren't there to reduce a benefit. So there is a sense of, I don't think the person is saying that it's unfair that a person who is brand new to this and WEP and GPO are gone is all of a sudden getting theirs. But I think there is a sense of frustration that something that was done cannot be undone as easily as it was put in place. So, when Congress came to you, or I should say, when the Social Security Administration said, well, we're going to reduce your Social Security benefit by $300 or $400 a month, they didn't wait around for you to say when it was good for you to lose your monthly benefit. They didn't say, well, we can give you 6 months or a year or 18 months for you to get used to this new fiscal pattern that you're going to have to live with because we are taking your Social Security benefits. And I think that, is the underlying frustration. And that was when they were just doing it normally. We had plenty of people that were not WEP'd when the Social Security Administration thought they should have been, who were then sent a bill saying you owe us tens of thousands of dollars. Pay it when you feel like you have time. That is not what happened. They started garnering, Social Security benefits immediately. So those rules seem to be good for the goose, but not good for the gander. And I think that is the frustration that is building up. And best that I can do is say that I completely understand it, but I also am not satisfied, as or any of you that is, going to be the position that we're going to be in. So we have several items in play right now. As I said, we have reached out for immediate response from the Social Security Administration. I have copied those letters to people that are in the majority in Congress, asking for their help. We are reaching out to our Texas congressional members. There was a member from Missouri, I believe it may be the chairman of Ways and Means, who said that he wasn't necessarily in favor of the WEP and GPO being repealed, but now that it's the law of the land, we have to live by the law of the land, and we have to get these benefits to people. So these are congressional members themselves who say, hey, look, I may not have been in favor of it, but regardless of that point now, we passed it. Congress has acted. The president has signed it. This is the law. People need their Social Security benefits restored. And waiting 12 to 18 months is simply unacceptable. And I think it's going to take a lot of us in our work to impress upon congressional members that action is necessary. To be very frank, just cutting through the noise that is going on in Washington, D.C. on a daily basis is a really difficult thing to do. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. Far from it. Everything that is going on, we consider that some kind of noise that is drowning out a message that we're trying to send forward. And we have to be louder and stronger and in a way that is going to positively get some kind of return on those benefits. So we're a month into this, y'all. That bill was signed into law on January 5th, and it's been 1 month, and people are growing restless. And I do not blame y'all in the least. Matter of fact, my hope is that we will channel that energy and try to find new ways to get the money restored to people as quickly as possible. My other advice still stands. If you're currently WEP'd and you're waiting, then my suggestion is, stay on top of what's going on through our Facebook page, our social media channels, the Inside Line. We'll let you know if there's some action to take. The Social Security Administration Q&A page says that if you've not updated your bank account information, or if you're not updated your home address information, there are ways to communicate with them on doing that. If you've never filed for these benefits, I cannot reinforce how important it is. Even if your spouse passed away several years ago and you were told, well, I'll never get that benefit, please make sure that you have filed for the benefit so that you will be able to get the back pay that you need to get from January 1st, 2024. Somebody asked me the other day, does the back pay include anything else? Well, the back pay is going to be from January 1, 2024 to whatever date certain that is going to be. When we were talking to this person, they thought the back pay reinstatement was all the WEP and GPO repeal was all about. What they didn't realize is that they're getting their back pay and they're getting a brand new monthly benefit because WEP and GPO are gone. And they realized how transformative that was going to be for their life. And so there are a lot of folks that still do not know yet about WEP and GPO. That's why we were in the Valley 2 weeks ago with a congressman from Texas talking about this and raising awareness. So, Roy, do we see any other questions in here? Let's see. In the last SSA update, the last question answer response, it says it could take up to a year before the new benefit be calculated and sent out. That is a question comment from Al Inlow. Hey, Al, how you doing? And so that's the part that we're trying to really advance more quickly. I am so happy that if like tomorrow is my birthday, and I'm turning 50, y'all. It's going to be a fun day. But if your birthday is tomorrow and you're turning 65 and you're a TRS retiree and you want to apply for your Social Security benefit for the first time, you should be able to do that and not have any WEP affect you at all. That's the great news. So anybody going, this point forward is going to be in a pretty good position to collect their benefits. So it's the folks that we're trying to get recalculated that's really slowed things down. So, all right.
Yeah, I've got a couple other questions that have rolled in. This one from Pam77. or 777 asks, does anyone know if the original reduction due to WEP will have remained the same over time or have changed due to COLAs or other factors?
Yeah, good question. I don't know the answer to that. I think that's the question of the day. I know that all of the benefits going forward will have the benefit of cost of living adjustments built into them. It is my understanding, Roy and Pam 777, that it will not. It will be based on the original benefit, and it will be recalculated as if that WEP and GPO did not apply, and that benefit going forward will now be continued to be improved by any cost of living adjustments. So we'll find an answer to that question and see if there's something more that we want to report on it next week. Anything else, Roy?
Yes, we have a comment here from Laura Williams. Can we process the people over 80 first? We'll be dead soon. And can our beneficiaries get the money?
Okay, great two-part question there. Thank you, Roy. And Laura, thank you for putting that question in the chat. We have, as an organization, suggested that there could be some strategies that the Social Security Administration may want to use and get money out quickly. Let's put it this way, Roy. I think Brian Guthrie from TRS told me one time that there's now over 400 retirees in Texas TRS that are age 100 years or older. In that group, there are probably some spouses who've passed away who would, love to have thought that their spouse would be able to get their benefit. Because of GPO, they haven't. And so, it is time imperative that Congress get, on the stick here and get SSA calculating these benefits and getting the money out. One strategy could be that they age append files and start getting money out to folks that are, more senior in their retirement years. It's a great way of me not saying older, but more senior in their retirement years and trying to get those dollars out more quickly. Now, on the beneficiary issue, that's another item that you want to probably make sure is updated with the, this falls into that category of I'm not a tax consultant, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a financial planner. So, but my understanding is that your beneficiary will receive the back pay that is owed from January 1st, 2024 till date certain when it gets finally done and people are starting to get their benefits. So you will want to make sure that you have updated information about the beneficiary for your Social Security benefits so that if you have someone who's surviving you and a check is on its way from the Social Security Administration, that they know that money is coming.
And on the topic of spousal benefits, Mary Jo Burton asks, do you think they'll be retroactive?
On the spousal benefits, the retroactivity is going back to January 1st, 2024. So let's say that, let's say Miss Burton could have started collecting a spousal benefit in 2020. All right. And I don't know, but let's say that it could have started before January 1st, 2024. What the new law says is that if Miss Burton was eligible to receive that benefit, but it had been reduced because of the government pension offset or eliminated because of the government pension offset, we are going to look back to January 1st, 2024 as the start date of when those benefits should have been restored. So that new benefit, the one that is going to be restored because GPO is now gone, that benefit will be in force as of January 1st, 2024. And a check or a deposit or whatever is going to come from the Social Security Administration to Ms. Burton as though she would receive that full amount as of January 1st, 2024, up until the day the Social Security Administration finally recalculates her new benefit. Now, that is, as SSA has said, that could be 12 months. So there's, 12 times however much monthly benefit that's going to be in a one-time check. And we'll see how that actually goes out. So I hope that answers Ms. Burton's question.
Yeah, that's a great answer. And then I've got one more question here.
Sure.
And that's from Carolyn John Williams. I've been retired for 10 years. Is there anything I need to do other than be patient for Social Security to pull it all together? And funnily enough, I just added the answer to this question on our website right before this stream because Social Security added it to their website.
Yeah. Well, what's the answer, Roy?
Well, right now, I'm going to go over to our WEP repeal page. And according to the Social Security Administration's website, the act applies to benefits you get on your own record. Or the question is, according to the Social Security Administration, new. What should people do now that the Social Security Fairness Act is now law? According to the SSA, the act applies to benefits you get on your own record, retirement or disability benefits, and to spouses or surviving spouses' benefits on another person's record. What action you need to take depends on your situation and what type of benefits you qualify for. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to link this in chat, and there's a lot more to that answer that explains in detail all those things. So if you're interested to know that, I'm going to link that in our chat right now.
And I think the big part of that summary is that if you have already been WEP'd and then the Social Security Administration has reduced your benefit, they are wanting you to sit back and kind of wait with the biggest expectation that if you've had any change in your personal information or bank information, that you will communicate that with the Social Security Administration. If you're somebody who's been GPO'd and you have to file for the spousal benefit because you never did it, because you just were told by the Social Security Administration you'll never get your benefit, and you just chose not to file for it, well, then now is the time to go ahead and file. But dig into the link that we have updated in our chat, and we'll send that out. We try to do a summary of this when we're done, and we'll send those notes as well with the updates in our inside lines so that folks will have those. All right, Roy, anything else on the Social Security side for now?
No, I'm going to hop off for now.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. So I did want to also update everybody on another important issue that has been discussed at length in Texas. And so if you're tuning in from another state and you're interested in Texas, policy development, by all means, stick around. But if not, we'll send out an update. You can sign up for our update, whether you're a member of TRTA or not. If you sign up to TRTA.org, or if you go to www.trta.org, you can sign up for our inside line and get updates. It's our e-newsletter, and you can go back and watch this video again also. But the big issue in Texas has been the discussion of school finance and the process of the state of Texas looking at passing something sometimes called education savings accounts. And for the sake of the discussion, education savings accounts as a policy matter are different than another more commonly referred term, which is vouchers. And so some people lump them together. Some people talk about them as one and the same. Some people really differentiate the two things quite a little bit. And so that issue has generated a lot of interest based on some information that was released through the policymaking process here in Texas, where a bill is debated. And as part of that debate, the members of the legislative body, in this case, the Senate, received a report from the budget folks, it's a group called the Legislative Budget Board, and from the Teacher Retirement System of Texas, and an entity that they have, or a working relationship with a consulting firm, which is an actuarial consultant. And that consulting firm looks at what the legislation is suggesting that it's going to do. And then they make a determination as to whether or not that policy will have an ancillary impact or a direct impact on the funding of the Teacher Retirement System of Texas. And the Senate has voted out a version of a bill that would deal with education savings accounts. And in their version of the bill, the TRS and the LBB said there are a number of things that could happen that may have some impact on TRS, but it would have to be, a very demonstrable, very specific set of things to occur for a negative impact on the teacher retirement system. So the Senate leadership did talk with TRTA. We met with a number of our Senate colleagues about that issue, specifically related to TRS. And TRTA as an organization has a very specific charter as a 501c4 not-for-profit education organization. Our role is exclusively tied to the issues impacting the teacher retirement system of Texas and the people that may rely on that retirement system for their retirement security. And so if somebody wants to pass a bill in the legislature that defunds TRS, we're going to come out against that pretty quickly. If there's something that would change the benefit structure, we're going to come against that. But every now and then you see bills that may have some kind of impact. And so we met with the leadership and they assured TRTA that any conversation around ESA is going to absolutely include anything that may be necessary to ensure TRS fiscal stability and health. So this process, I can't believe it, but it's only the middle of February, and the legislature is really at the very beginning stages of passing bills. And so the Senate was able to act a little bit more quickly. They have fewer members that have to be assigned to committees and so on and so forth. And so we are going to remain committed to working with the governor's office. We're going to remain committed to working with Lieutenant Governor's office, the chair of finance, who has been nothing but a friend to us, and the chair of education in the Senate, and make sure that those leaders know that as this bill moves forward, we as an organization, we have our eyes exclusively on how TRS is going to be funded and whether or not there is going to be some major fiscal impact or cost to the retirement system. Right now, today, the Senate has passed a version of a bill that does not have an impact on TRS. And so that bill's moved over to the House. The House is going to start working on whatever their bills are going to be on this issue. And since I'm speaking about the House, let me first of all say a big thank you to Dustin Burrows, Speaker of the Texas House. He afforded us, TRTA, some time this week to meet directly with him and share our legislative agenda that included protecting TRS and its defined benefit plan. It also includes buying down unfunded liability with extra funding from the legislature. We also talked about a benefit enhancement for all retirees. That could be a COLA, a 13th check, a supplemental check, a stipend, some kind of financial help for all retirees. We reasserted that 30%, on average, all TRS retirees are still 30% behind inflation. So that's a pretty important piece of information that decision makers want to know. And if you've been in TRTA for a number of years, you may remember the name Bob Duncan or Robert Duncan. He was a senator and he was from the Lubbock area. And Bob Duncan was the chairman of the committee that dealt with all of the TRS issues in the Senate. And so he went off to go and be the chancellor of Texas Tech, had a very successful legal career, and Bob Duncan's a great guy. And so now he's back working directly with Speaker Burrows. And in that room, I had Speaker Burrows, Bob Duncan, Vicky Truitt was with us. It was like a group of friends getting together, talking about how to help all of you. And we were very warmly received, had a great discussion. And this is just sort of completes the circle. We earlier this year, I'd had direct conversations with the lieutenant governor. We've had direct conversations with the governor. And so your organization is going to the highest levels of leadership in this state, making sure they know that our work, while has been successful, is never done. Our work to help retirees is never done. So we're going to keep doing that. And since we're talking about the House, and I'm going to, hopefully I've answered that question about ESAs, but just know that throughout the next however many days we have left of session, over 100 days still of session to go, TRTA will always look at every bill that is filed that is connected to TRS. We will inform our members about any potential negative impact to the retirement system, and we will go to leadership and make sure that we are protecting your TRS defined benefit plan. And that is not just for our retirees. If you're an active teacher working today or watching this video at some point in time, TRTA is working to protect your retirement security. You may only have 5 years on the job. That's fine with us. We're going to protect your retirement security. And that's what we do as an organization. So we'll keep an eye on all of those bills as they move forward. Roy, I know that we wanted to share some of the news that happened this week. So let's do the House Appropriations Committee. Our members are really engaged in this process. Just so you know, this is a very important committee. Committees were named yesterday, I think, in the House. Greg Bonin is the chair of Appropriations, been a very strong friend of ours, was the first person in last year or 2 years ago, really, that I heard say the retirees should get a supplemental check and a COLA. He told that to a group of his constituents before the legislature started in 2023. And we came back and we were able to find a way to do that in the previous session. So he's back as chair. We're really very proud of that. Mary Gonzalez, I'm not sure if Mary is watching this, but she knows she is one of our very favorite friends in the Texas legislature. We've got some new members. And so if you see your member on there, Jeff Berry is one of our newer folks. And, there's a lot of people on here really, really excited to work with these members. TRS is going to have a presentation in front of the House Appropriations Committee. We also refer to it as HAC, H-A-C, House Appropriations Committee, on February 19th. I'm not sure if we'll be testifying that day, but if we have a chance to testify, then I will testify and let the folks know what's going on. So that's our House Appropriations Committee. We'll put that information out. Go on social media, if that's your state rep, and tell them congratulations on their committee assignment. They like to hear stuff like that. We're really good at advocacy, but sometimes, we just really need to be good also at giving some, atta-girls and atta-boys and letting people know they're doing a good job. And that's a big committee to be on. So congratulations to those folks. Roy, let's see the committee with pensions. All right, House Pensions Committee. These are the members. We've got some folks that are coming back to this committee. The vice chair of this committee is now the chair. Giovanni Capriglione has moved on to a different committee. And we really appreciated Chairman Capriglione's leadership on the Pensions Committee last session. But if you don't know Stan Lambert, get ready, because this is a through and through, full-on, big-time supporter of TRS retirees. I know this because his wife is a TRS retiree. She has been a longtime classroom teacher, and Stan has been a friend of TRTA's and that Abilene chapter and of me personally for years. And I really, really am so happy that Stan Lambert is taken over as chair of this committee. It was a real benefit to everybody. We've got Representative Place as the vice chair, excited to work with Representative. And we've got some folks that are returning, as well as some folks that are going to be brand new. So if you see your state rep there, please let them know that we appreciate that and we look forward to working with them. Roy, what other slide did I have for today? Anything else? All right, that covers the slides of items. I want to give a shout out to the folks that were here from TRTA legislative team and the district team. And Cindy Sharp sent that to me. Roy, do you remember getting that? It was a link to, and that's when Cindy gets real mad at me. Why does she even do these things for me when she knows? All right, here we go. So, oh, that's the wrong thing. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Anyway, we'll probably put in the update the folks that were here. We had folks here from the Metroplex area. We had folks here from District 4, District 5. Roy, do you have the list by any chance? All right, we'll keep looking for the list. See if Cindy's watching it and she can send you the list real quick. But these are TRTA members, volunteers that spent hours on the road to drive here, that walked the halls of the Capitol and met with your, here we go, Dr. Mary Widmeyer, Richard Briggs, Jane Eichsman, Phil Washman, Johnny Walker, Dee Palmore, Jeannie Paul Turner, and our district presidents, Sheila Wolf, Peggy Lee, Danny Stribling, David Franson, Vicki Dillard, Susan Wren, and Franna Patterson. Fran is one of our officers. Y'all did a great job. They did an even better job because I was not there, and I didn't slow them down at all. This was also Rattlesnake Roundup Week at the Texas Legislature, so I hope everybody had a chance to see the rattlesnakes. It's always fun. But y'all, I'm very excited about what's happening for us right now. We're going to continue to work hard. I'm just excited that I feel like my flu is finally starting to come down and I can speak. And we got through all of this today without too much coughing. So please know we're going to keep fighting on the Social Security stuff. We're going to get as much information as we can. Whenever we get breaking news, we're not going to wait for a Friday. We're going to send it out as fast as we can. We're also going to continue to work on getting retirees benefit enhancements or adjustments as needed this session. And we definitely would communicate everything that there needs to be known about any bill filed on ESAs or vouchers and whether or not there's an impact on TRS. If you feel strongly about those issues, our position as an organization is, hey, look, we're going to follow those issues on a TRS related front, but we think all of you should communicate regularly with your elected officials. They're here now. Waiting till they come home is probably the wrong time to communicate. So if you feel strongly about an issue, and I'm talking about generally speaking, whether it's education or water or ESAs or TRS or whatever, build a relationship with your state rep. Call them up. Get to know that staff person. Don't shout at them. That is, we want to build relationships. They may not share that same opinion, but if you keep working on them, they may change their point of view to what you believe. But that's only going to be done if you've been able to build that relationship, get to know their office, get to know what makes them tick, and let them find a way to work with you. As the congressman said to us just a few minutes ago when we were interviewing him, it's a lot harder to vote against somebody when you know them. So work on getting to know your elected officials in a positive way and build that relationship. We will see you next Friday, where I will be officially 50 years old. And hopefully I'll still be as sharp as I ever was. Y'all take care. Have a great weekend. Thanks. Bye-bye.